You're tuning in to Floridian Rollo. I'm your host, Floridian Rollo. And I'm coming at you with another live stream. What's up, people? What's up? What's up? What's up? I want to appreciate each and every one of you that viewed the recent video that I did. We got up to date. It is official that Mr. Trump signed the BBB bill. That's right, he did. I'm going to play the footage in a few minutes once we get the people to come and view the platform, see what's going on, see that I'm on. I know many of you out and about. So as you come into the chat, make sure you hit the thumbs up on your way in. Hit the like button on your way in. You know what I'm saying? Double tap the like button. All right, I'm getting my stuff situated. Give me 1 second. Yes, he did. He passed the bill. They upset, y'all. They upset that the bill is passed. They upset that the bill is passed, y'all. Believe it or not. They upset. Why are you upset that the bill is passed? So without further ado, let's play the clip. Let me get the clip ready for y'all so y'all can hear the tape. Make sure you double tap the like button on your way in. Let me get it ready. Y'all know I'm on the road doing my thing. All right, here we go.
11 minutes after the hour, welcome back into WHS 11 News at noon. Today, President Trump will sign his massive tax cut and spending bill during a 4th of July ceremony at the White House. Getting the bill through Congress was a major victory for the president, who faced pushback from several members of his own party. ABC's Christian Cordero has the details from Washington.
Listen.
It's considered President Trump's biggest legislative victory of his second term.
And tonight, here I am. Okay, promises go.
And today, on the 4th of July, and with the stroke of a pen, the president plans to put his agenda into action.
There could be no better birthday present for America than the phenomenal victory we achieved just hours ago when Congress passed the one big, beautiful bill to make America great again.
Now that Congress passed the big, beautiful bill, you have some of these content creators talking about, well, that doesn't benefit us. It only benefits certain people. Really? Oh, really? Oh, really? It don't benefit the person that's working a 9 to 5. It don't benefit those who deliver to your house. It don't benefit those who mail stuff to your house or bring certain packages or delivery, whatever the case. Well, then again, they saying that you shouldn't work. These people that get stuff through certain people, how does it get to your house? And then on top of that, you want to be somebody else. You want to be another content creator. You want to be another content creator and another content creator. You want to destiny swap off the main content creator. Now all of a sudden, you upset with Trump passing his bill.
The signing ceremony will happen in his signature fashion, lavishly orchestrated with a flyover that includes a B-2 bomber overhead. The bill itself is controversial. It squeaked through Congress with a handful of Republicans voting in opposition. The pushback largely around its price tag, with the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office estimating Trump's plan will add $3.4 trillion to the national debt over the next decade. Two moderate Republicans joined Democrats in opposition to the bill's steep cuts to Medicaid that the CBO says could leave some 11.8 million Americans without health insurance coverage in the next 10 years.
It's one of the saddest days in modern American history. 17 million Americans in our country are going to lose their Medicaid. They're going to lose their ACA insurance.
Trump has tried steering focus to its $4 trillion in tax cuts, which will largely go to the wealthiest Americans. He also touts his fulfillment of campaign promises like no taxes on tips and overtime pay and increased funding for border security. There are a lot of provisions in this 900-plus page bill, including a new school choice voucher program and funding to move Space Shuttle Discovery from the D.C. area to Johnson Space Center in Houston. The bill estimates that project will cost $300 million. Christiane Cordero, ABC News.
So that's interesting because now they're removing the space shuttle from DC to Houston. Interesting. Didn't I tell y'all that certain things are being removed from the northern east region, the Midwest, the Northwest, and it's coming down to the Southwest, the southern states, or the deep South? There's a change shift going on, y'all. Let's continue. Let's get another clip. I find that very interesting. I didn't even know that. That's part of the bill. So they are leaving DC and they're going to figure out how to get it down there in Houston. Wow. Wow. Everything's mostly coming to the South, y'all. To the deep South, the South and the Southwest region. Hold on one second. Let me find another clip. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to find it right now.
Experience. They've agreed to put up over $1 trillion a year. They went from less than 2% to 5%, and nobody thought that was possible.
He's talking about it right now.
Very strongly, the leaders of a big part of the world, very respected people all.
He's talking about it right now, y'all.
You know, 1 year ago, your country was dead. And now you have the hottest country anywhere in the world. So that's the way it is, and that's the way we like it.
That's right.
It's only going to get hotter. I promise you that.
That's right.
After that spectacular display of American power, let me just say that God bless the United States military and God bless the USA. God bless.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And to all Americans, I want to wish you a very happy Independence Day, happy 4th of July. This is going to be something special. This spirit in this country, we haven't seen anything like it in many, many years and decades. We also express our gratitude to our magnificent First Lady. She worked very hard to make this all work.
Shout out to her. Shout out to her.
We have a fireworks display about 9 o'clock tonight. I hope you're all going to be around and watch it. I know our congressmen and our senators who are standing right here, so many of them, they did such a great job. They're going to be here. I guarantee you, they're not leaving. They're not leaving. Thanks as well to the National Park Service, the USO, and countless friends and distinguished guests. We have so many people in the audience and have so much to do with the success of our country. We've, I think, had probably the most successful almost 6 months as a president and the presidency. I think they're saying it was the best 6 months, and I know for a fact they're saying the last 2 weeks there has never been anything like it as far as winning.
He said it. Winning. Hey, Trump, that's what's up. He used the talking point. Winning. That's right. It's all about winning. Let's keep winning. Let me rewind that back a little bit. I like that talk. Let's go.
Very strongly, the leaders of a big part of the world, very respected people all, they told me that, you know, 1 year ago your country was dead, and now you have the hottest country anywhere in the world. So that's the way it is, and that's the way we like it.
Right.
And it's only going to get hotter.
Right.
After that spectacular display of American power, let me just say that God bless the United States military and God bless the USA. God bless.
That's right. Let's go.
And to all Americans, I want to wish you a very happy Independence Day, happy 4th of July. This is going to be something special. This spirit in this country, we haven't seen anything like it in many, many years.
I agree.
Let me also express our gratitude to our magnificent First Lady. She worked very hard to make this all work.
That's right.
We have a fireworks display about 9 o'clock tonight. I hope you're all going to be around.
Oh, it's going to be packed out here where I'm at, Mr. Trump.
Standing right here, so many of them, they did such a great
It's going to
job.
be, it's already lit in Florida.
I guarantee you, they're not leaving.
It's already lit in Florida. Believe that.
Thanks as well to the National National Park Service, the USO, and countless friends and distinguished guests. We have so many people in the audience that have so much to do with the success of our country. We've, I think, had probably the most successful almost 6 months as a president and the presidency. I think they're saying it was the best 6 months, and I know for a fact they're saying the last 2 weeks there has never been anything like it as far as
I agree.
winning.
I agree with that because the last 2 weeks been interesting for me myself. You know what I'm saying? Getting this vehicle and everything else going on. So, you know, it's going on a week or so, almost 2 weeks coming up, you know, Monday. So within 2 weeks. Wow. Well, I am really, really excited about this bill that we could get some things in our favor. Yeah, the people that has a lot of money get a tax break. Why? Because that gives people more opportunity to invest into certain places, people and things, so that it gives more people that's born in this country or that's becoming a citizen in this country opportunities to provide for their family in the near future. You know, these people are upset. They upset. You know, they call us tethers or coons, traitors, all this other nonsense because they have nothing to talk about. Like Ringo stated, Brainwave stated, they have nothing to talk about. They're running out of material. They're running out of situations. I told y'all last year, they've been cut off. They froze. They stuck in yes years. We moving forward. This is our year and beyond our year. Keep moving right. Stay on point. Keep winning. They can't stand the winning. They can't stand the winning, y'all. Let's continue.
So as you know, 2 weeks ago, our incredible Air Force pilots conducted one of the most successful military strikes in all of history, Operation Midnight Hammer, and that's exactly what it was. It was a hammer. This evening, we're honored to be joined by 150 airmen and their families from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, home of the B-2 bomber.
Okay.
And we've kept them a little bit on guard. We kept them a little bit, let's be a little bit quiet about it. But if you want to raise your hand very quickly, raise your hand because you people are just incredible. They don't want to be in disguise, you know. They say, we don't have to do that. They're looking at us like we're a bunch of babies. We don't have to be in disguise. We saw all those hands go up. Thank you very much. We owe you everything. Great job. Incredible. Just flawless. One of the most flawless military campaigns in the history of our country. If you remember years ago, they had helicopters crashing into each other. It was a disaster. The hostages in Iran. And we had just the opposite. We didn't have any crashes. We didn't lose any planes. We didn't lose anybody. Those beautiful planes that you saw were totally stealth. They flew right over the center of a very hostile country, and they never even saw it coming. And then they said, skedaddle. They dropped the bombs. They said, skedaddle. And that big...
Trump is using my talking point. He said skedaddle. Oh, man. Wow, man. I'm telling you, they listen to our content, y'all. They listen to me content creators. Let's go.
It turned over like this on its side, and it got out of there. Well, I'll tell you what, how they do that, but they can do it. I asked our great General Kane, how do they do that? Do they really love doing that? Look at them, they're all laughing. And they said, do they really like doing it, sir? They can't wait. Better you than me. That's all I can say. It was a flawless mission. Every single bomb hit, and it was total obliteration. Total obliteration. Now, even the...
All right, so let's get to another video because there's a lot of coverage about this. Let's go to this one.
In our nation's capital, the so-called Big Beautiful Bill is facing major headwinds as Senate Republicans try to get it to President Trump's desk by Friday. Senators have spent the past several hours in a vote-a-rama, with those against the bill taking every opportunity to stall it. Christian Cordero has the latest from
Here we
Washington.
go. Here we go.
With just days to go before President Trump's self-imposed deadline of the 4th of July, today Senate Majority Leader John Thune is courting his fellow Republicans to fall in line behind the president's tax and spending plan.
No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, lower taxes for seniors, for Social Security recipients. These are all targeted at working Americans, working families.
The bill includes roughly $4 trillion in tax cuts, paid for in part by big cuts to Medicaid that the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office estimates would lead to nearly 12 million Americans potentially losing their health insurance coverage over the next decade. The CBO also estimates the bill will add more than $3 trillion to the national deficit over the next decade. Senate Republicans can only afford.
All right, so it's pretty much a repeat of what's going on. You know, that was 3 days ago. I'm trying to find a recent one. Hold on one second. All right, let's get to this one.
The Senate passing President Trump's big, beautiful bill today, with Vice President Vance casting the tie-breaking vote. The bill now heads back to the House. Now, former special government employee and billionaire Elon Musk is weighing in and throwing his weight against those lawmakers supporting the bill.
Here we go.
Alice Barr has details from
Here we
Washington.
go. Let's see what he has to say.
In a major win for President Trump, Senate Republicans narrowly passing his signature spending and tax cuts bill.
Make sure people's taxes don't go up tomorrow, the next day, forever.
The president worked the phones to convince holdout Republicans,
I think it would be very wise for them to get on board.
while senators set a new vote-a-rama record, introducing unlimited amendments all night long before the final vote.
The bill as amended is passed.
Proposed changes repeatedly shot down, including one from Republican Susan Collins, to increase taxes on the ultra-wealthy in order to boost funding for rural hospitals.
When these facilities close their doors, the people they serve are often left behind without access to health care.
Democrats say Republicans.
Oh my goodness. She's pushing the fear about things gonna close and this and that. Don't you know that Mr. Kennedy is pushing more healthier food? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all been paying attention. There's been a lot more healthier food. There's not as much GMO as it was, I would say, 6 months ago. I could tell you that. It's not too much GMO food. It depends on where you at and who you talk with. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's continue.
Creating the danger to rural health care through Medicaid cuts and not going far enough to fix it.
It is a Band-Aid on an amputation. It provides just a tiny fraction of the nearly $1 trillion in cuts.
More than 11 million Americans are expected to lose their health care. Republicans argue the overhaul will help keep Medicaid running long term. Also touting the bill's extended tax cuts and billions for defense, deportations, and the border. Spending the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office estimates will increase the deficit by more than $3 trillion. President Trump's one-time advisor, Elon Musk, resuming his online attacks, saying Republicans who campaigned on cutting spending and backed this bill, quote, will lose their primary next year if it is the last thing I do on this earth.
Now that the bill
Oh, Elon Musk is losing it. He's upset because, you know, he's not getting the cut, or more so, his thing is not being pushed. You know what I'm saying? So let's continue.
has narrowly passed through the Senate, it heads back over to the House, where it has to pass without any changes in order to meet President Trump's deadline to get it to his desk by July 4th. There are some House members, though, voicing frustration with some of what they're seeing come out of the Senate. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
All right, so basically, let me just say this, right? I'm glad the bill passed. It gives people opportunity to get their stuff situated. You know, they're pushing out this theory that a lot of hospitals is going to close. No, it's time for people to get more healthier and make better decisions. So with the extra money coming in that you won't be taxed for and that you don't have to pay for the end of the year for the time being, you can use that money to get more healthier stuff. more better products to take care of your health to the best of your ability. You know, we should be going to hospitals for checkups and for other various reasons, not the reasons that they always want you to be in. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Then why are you here? Why are you here? If I don't have no idea what I'm talking about, then educate me. What I'm doing controversial. You have an issue with Trump? You have an issue with the bill? Answer the question. Do you have an issue with Trump? Do you have an issue with the bill? Or you have an issue of how I'm speaking about the situation? Which one is it? How you doing, Dee Dee? Yeah, like Dee Dee said, make sure you double tap the like button. Which one is it? I'm waiting. You know who you are. I know you want me to say your name, say your name. I'm not going to say your name. I'm asking you a question. What did I say wrong? Are you opposing against this bill, or are you for the bill? And what do you don't like about the bill? Can you answer that question? Or you were sent by this entity, deity, who's mad that the bill passed? Are you coming from his platform? He got you hypnotized. That individual got you hypnotized. Them fear-mongering content creators got you hypnotized with the doom and gloom talk, because I don't do that over here. I don't do that over here. Guess you can't answer the question. Let's see if anything else came up. I don't think anything else came up. Yeah, I'm letting the trolls do their thing as long as they're respectful. As long as the trolls respectful. Let me see if I got anything else going on. Let me see if I can find anything else to talk about.
A deeply divided House passing the Senate's version of President Trump's mega bill.
Nobody said it would be easy. But you know what? We didn't come here to do easy things.
Right.
We came here to do big things.
That's right.
A group of hardline GOP members who had threatened to block the sweeping.
It's not come to do easy things, come to do big things. That's right. We got to do big things out here. We got to do big things out here. Let's go.
Tax and spending cuts legislation eventually falling in line, following an intense campaign from the White House and Republican Party leaders. The president reportedly promising fiscal hardliners concerned about trillions being added to the national deficit, that certain provisions for green energy tax credits would be phased out.
What those holdouts were doing was exactly what we were all doing. We are advocating for our district.
Democrats denouncing the bill. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries speaking for hours.
Here we go.
Final vote.
I'm going to take my time and ensure that the American people fully understand how damaging this bill will be to their quality of life.
Oh my gosh.
Legislation would unlock tax cuts and funding boosts for national security. Partly
It's like the Democrats don't want you to win. The Democrats don't want you to win. They don't want you to have no money. They don't want you to provide for your family. They want you to be unhealthy. They want you to depend on them. And when you take care of your responsibility as a man, as a woman, and you make sure your children good, your family good, they don't like that. They want chaos. These Ibarasi want chaos. They don't want stricter laws. They don't want things to be corrected. They don't want common sense. They don't believe in common sense. They want to take your money, take, and leave you poor. Let's continue.
By the largest cut to the federal safety net in decades. Tax breaks and changes to the tax code could benefit corporate America, manufacturers, and high-income Americans, while low-income Americans could be worse off.
No,
the bill's historic cuts to Medicaid and food stamps.
No. That's that lie. If you not making that much money, that it will not benefit you. It's going to benefit them too. because that extra $4, $5, $6, $7,000 goes a long way. Now, if they be irresponsible, that's on them. If they choose to go that route, the ones who are responsible are going to make ends meet and do more than what they have to wait. They could get it done right then and there. I'm tired of them trying to push this fear. You got these newscasters with the doom and gloom too.
A ripple effect could also hit the healthcare system, especially rural hospitals. And roughly $3.4 trillion is also projected to be added to the deficit over the next decade. In Washington, Michael Yoshida reporting.
We
All
saw
right.
a parade of lawmakers coming to the West Wing here Wednesday, and they were representing different views of the Republican opposition. There were some centrist Republicans concerned about the impact that this bill will have on Medicaid. You also had some of the fiscal hawks concerned about the bill's dramatic increase on the deficit. And here's some of what's in the bill. It extends President Trump's 2017 tax cuts, places stronger work requirements for people to receive Medicaid and SNAP benefits, raises the state and local tax deduction cap and the child tax credit, and allows for tax deductions on tips, overtime, and car loans, while providing more funding for defense and immigration enforcement. And this
Notice what it says, car loans. So now people could get a car. People could get a car now. If you've been having a hard time getting a certain vehicle, the car loan will be deducted. Okay, so now you have an opportunity to get a nice car. If you're thinking about getting a nice car, you may have to still put down a certain amount, yet you may not have to put as much because of the burden. With the past administration, now it's opportunity for people to get a car now. Let me rewind that back again. That's very key. Listen.
Raises the state and local tax deduction cap and the child tax credit, and allows for tax deductions on tips, overtime, and car loans, while providing more funding for defense and immigration enforcement. And this morning we heard from one of the former holdouts, Ralph Norman, who described the conversations between the president and the fiscal hawks. Norman says that essentially Trump made a commitment to them that he would use executive authority to try and enforce some of the phase-out provisions of this bill when it comes to clean energy subsidies. That seemed to be enough to get Rep. Norman and some of those other Freedom Caucus members to a yes vote, because the language of the bill itself has not changed from the Senate version. Our understanding was President Trump was really using honey instead of vinegar here in those meetings with lawmakers, giving them White House swag, for example, taking pictures, all in an effort to get them on board with this bill. All of this comes as public support of the bill is low. Just 27% of people in a Quinnipiac poll approve of the president's signature domestic policy bill. Yet, judging by the successful procedural vote to bring the Senate version of the bill to the House floor for a vote, it appears that the president's outreach was successful and that the bill is close to being on his desk. That could be as early as Friday. At the White House, Brian Abel reporting.
Well, there you have it. And
it's do or die time.
Here we go.
Lawmakers who want to meet President Donald Trump's deadline for his sweeping budget bill. He wants to sign it by tomorrow, but that depends on whether House Republicans can pass it in time. GOP leaders praise the bill's spending cuts, an extension of trillions of dollars in tax breaks. The legislation also contains billions for immigrant detentions and Trump's border wall.
And we're going to do right by the American people. This is going to be a great thing for the country.
Democrats say they don't want to reduce funding for Medicaid and food stamps. They also point to analysis showing the wealthiest Americans get the most money from the bill's tax breaks.
Here we go.
Support, Republicans could only spare 3 votes. Procedural stalemates overnight suggest the party is struggling to unify.
Mr. Speaker, my understanding is that House Republicans have kept this vote open longer than any other Congress in the history of the House of Representatives.
Most reluctant Republicans say they worry the bill could add trillions to the national debt. Some have expressed concerns about cuts to Medicaid. That as Democrats were calling the unexpected GOP vote in 2017 that stopped the repeal of the Affordable Care Act.
All we need are 4 Republicans to have John McCain-level courage and stand up in defense of the health care of the American people.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Let me ask you this.
Divided House passing the Senate's version.
Let me ask you this question. Okay, that's about that. Let me ask you this question. Don't y'all want to be healthy? Put a check mark if you want to be healthy. You want to eat healthy, look healthy, walk, act. The list goes on. Don't you want to have non-GMO food? When you go to most countries, they have non-GMO food. So why we can't have non-GMO food here? These liberasi want you to eat unhealthy. Become big, overweight. Ain't you tired of being a certain class of that? Don't you want to clean out your colon, clean out this, clean out that? I'm just asking questions. So look, that's pretty much about it. Hey, y'all enjoy the 4th of July. Y'all be safe out there on them roads. You know what I'm saying? Be cognizant, mindful. You know, I'm going to get some footage for my members only. So pretty much that's it for me. I catch y'all on the next one. Brown royalty to the people. We the business. Thank y'all for viewing. And subscribe to the channel. Let's make it to 2,400. Can we get to 2,400? Can we get to the subscriber base to 2,400? I'm out. Peace.